Welcome back to the Oshawott Draft League, and here's a recap of Week 1. Let's start off with just really quick information. The breakdown of the battles. The Wixom Wakes beat the Scalchop Samurai, the Striking Talons beat the Eevee Elite, Team Fredgigigas beat Medallion Mouseholds, and Shellshocks beat Gooning Gamblers. Let's break down the games. First of all, the Scalchop Samurai versus the Wixom Wakes. Straight off the bat, the Wixom Wakes, Monferno, Terra Fighting, Mach Punch, Choice Band, Iron Fist did way too much damage to most of the Pokemon on the Samurai. They were not expecting this. On top of this, when they switched into Sneasler, they were too scared to click Shadow Claw and predict the switch into Dragapult, leading even more free switches for the Wixom Wakes. In the end, the Samurai think that they should have clicked Ceaseless Edge on Hisuian Samurai at the first move of the game to change out and make sure that the switches were not as effective as they were. But in the end, it probably would have been the same outcome. The Wixom Wakes win with a +4 differential. Next is the Eevee Elite versus the Striking Talons. Overall, the game was good and close. It might not look like it from the score, but most of the moves made the game seem pretty close and pretty tight until the end. Overall, Rotom Heat paralyzed most of the Eevee Elite, making it very hard for them to fight back, and the rest of the team on the Striking Talons cleaned up. This battle was won by the Striking Talons with a +3 differential, but after reviewing the footage, we learned that Rotom Heat had an illegal item. He had the Bright Powder. After further reviewing, we realized that not a single time did it actually change anything in the battle. So the two teams came together and agreed that all that would happen is we would consider Rotom Heat as being knocked out by Mimikyu at the end of the battle for the stats, changing the +3 differential to a +2. Next up is the Shellshocks versus the Gooning Gamblers. This was a very fun and close game to watch. A lot of choices throughout the battle seemed very weird, but they all seemed to work out. First of all, Meloetta was sent out by the Gooning Gamblers, and they only clicked Relic Song pretty much. Relic Song did not cause a single sleep, even though it has a pretty high chance of doing so. This changed the entire battle, making it easier for the Shellshocks to clean up. In the end, Galarian Weezing used Pain Split on Garchomp, and even though Garchomp got to +4, a Poison Jab was not able to kill because of this. Galarian Weezing was able to clean up the game himself, and gave himself a lot of kills, way more than anybody expected. This left the Shellshocks with the win with a +3 differential. The final battle of the week was the Fredgigigas versus the Medallion Mouseholds. Team Fredgigigas started out the season very hot. Most of the beginning of the battle was a few switches, but it was really just Garganacl and Torkoal going at it. After they both switched out, Volcarona set up on Hisuian Lilligant with Quiver Dance, and then swept the entirety of the Medallion Mouseholds. This left the Fredgigigas with the win and a +6 differential. Now going back, we can see that Rotom wanted to make an apology for its use of an illegal item, as it is still learning our new language, and his language of electricity did not translate well, and he did not realize that the Bright Powder was illegal. From here on out, because of this, we have decided that if there's ever an illegal item, if the team who wins had the illegal item, then the other team will force a rematch and they have to switch that item. They will have a little bit of extra time to reset their teams in case they think, I don't want to go out with the same one since they just saw it. Now, to end the week, we will talk about a few moves that were made. First, the Medallion Mouseholds dropped Great Tusk and Hisuian Lilligant for Meowscarada and Skeledirge. I think this is an interesting choice, as both of those Pokemon are very scary, but I cannot debate that Meowscarada is absolutely terrifying to go up against, and Skeledirge can be a defensive tank if needed. Next, Team Fredgigigas decided to drop Regieleki and one of their Terra captains, Numel, to pick up Cloyster. Now, I can see where this is coming from. Cloyster's a very scary setup mon. It has Ice-type moves, Water-type moves, and Rock-type moves if really needed, we know that it has skill link, so it'll hit every single one of those icicle spears if he wants to do that. I think this is a pretty good move, but I'm surprised that he dropped Regieleki, the fastest Pokemon in the game, for this. But anyways, to end the week, here are the standings and the MVP race. Standings, in first, the Regigigas with their sweep are +6. Second place, the Wixom Wakes, and third place, Shell Shocks, and fourth place, Striking Talons. This is the first week, so anybody that wins is top 4. Now remember, these standings are just to see who gets to pick who they want to face in the first round of playoffs, as everybody in this league will make playoffs in the end. Now down to the MVP race. We have a clear winner with double the amount of kills of anything else. Volcarona with all 6 kills and it didn't die, giving it a differential of 6. That is the end of week 1, and I hope you guys are excited to watch week 2. I think that there will be a lot of interesting matchups in week 2, and I hope that the league gets shaken up a little bit.